Welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, where last time we had just failed to reach the Imperium through multiple waypoints from Footfall Station. Yeah, we really only had the main mission left, so at this point, so we went and went to the main mission. We had to go face Marazai in a final confrontation somewhere in the Cinerum Cineris Maleficum area region of space. And as he had like challenged us to meet him there, so we basically made our way there. When we got there, we had a random encounter as we kind of made our way past the Mundus Valancius. We had a random encounter where some Drukhari infiltrators had gotten into our ship and basically tried destroying the ship's engine, basically power core. So we had to go deal with that. When we defeated the sappers, we had like a little scene where like there was this guardsman that kind of showed up. He was hallucinating, looking for his son in some swamps, and kind of told us that he was helping these guards, the Drukhari, or these guards were helping him find his son who had gotten lost in like some swamps on his home world. Yeah, he was hallucinating. He was like drugged up and hallucinating this, and was kind of like in and out of the hallucination as we were talking to him. We kind of like told him like, hey, you're on the ship of the Von Valancius dynasty, and he's like, what? Kind of somewhat came to, became somewhat lucid, basically. But he was still majorly fucked up, and he was just kind of oozing slime from his nostrils, which was not good. Yeah, we kind of stayed with him as like the drug ran its course, as like, yeah, this guy under his hallucinations thought these Drukhari sappers and infiltrators were Imperial guardsmen that were helping him, and so he's kind of acting as a guide through the swamps, the swamp being actually our ship. Poor guy. He did eventually die. I guess like the drug probably not made to be consumable by humans, you know. So he kind of died, and we kind of let him go peacefully. It's like, oh, your son is right over there, and he's like, yay. And he died. Following that, we kind of continued our journey to the last chance of Cyrene, the same place where we got that Aldari cache from Durlet's quest, which had like the big webway gate. So like, yeah, when we entered the system, there's like something's going on with the webway. It's the webway gate, so go check it out. We went to it, and sure enough, it had become active, and a bunch of Drukhari ships came out of it. And at the same time, some smaller vessels that were hidden in the system came out from hiding to try and board the ship. Now I think about it, I might have gotten this out of order. Um. Anyways, there was a space fight. We defeated them. And then I think the sapper thing happened, because the boarding party got to us. Narratively, we didn't like let any ship near us in the space combat. Um, then the thing happened. With the hallucinated guy. Um, what was the random? Oh, the random encounter before that was like a lone Drakari, and he had a bunch of like tortured, abused slaves basically attacking us. Um, I think that's what it was. Anyways, God, I'm like yawning a lot. Anyways, the after dealing with the sappers, we got a message coming through Foxmaster Vigdas telling us that Dargonis was under attack. Some Drakari raiders had attacked the place. And so we had to hurry back. So I just went and made a direct warp route from Last Chance of Cyrene to the capital. Probably not the best idea. But I don't think Odari even use the warp to travel anyways, so they're not going to use those routes. The other enemies will. Anyways, so we hurried back to the capital. We defeated some Drakari ships outside of orbit, and went to the planet. We learned that several hive cities had been attacked from Calantia Rosarium, and that the heads of the noble families had gone into hiding, basically, albeit, after sending out their troops to like defend their own territories. Ugh, aristocracy. And yeah, we had to retake the capital. Particularly, what we had to do, the players, was retake the palace. As one of the leaders of the Drakari was here, kind of carrying out some mission. And yeah, we fought our way through some Drakari until eventually we got in front of the palace, where we met Takaza or something, Taraza, who for some reason believed that our character and Marazai, a Drakari, one of the Drakari leaders, were working together, collaborating together on something, on some plan, and that Marazai was a traitor. And we were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then combat ensued. We defeated Taraza and her goons, and went into the palace. Inside the palace, we kind of went into, well, basically to our bedroom, really. And there we found a bunch of Drakari Beastmasters executing some people, among which was Achilles Scalander. We intervened kind of before he had gotten killed, and had to reload several saves in order to make sure he survived. Yeah, we eventually freed him. He kind of told us that he overheard because he can speak Drakari, like he overheard his captors kind of talking about how there might be an Imperial traitor who had been informing them of like feeding them information, and whatnot. We also found like a random aristocrat hiding in our bedroom. Aside from that, we went to the main throne room, where we found Marazai sitting upon our throne. Abelard very upset by that. And since we had Irlight with us, he still thinks that like we're some servant. Actually, I think that now he thinks that Irlight is a servant of us. von Valancius. But you know, he basically just was throwing barbs at us, um, and being like, you know, evasive about what he was doing. Um, he was as yeah, the him having us challenging us at the webway gate was just a feint to distract us from this. He was kind of surprised. Everyone was surprised, I guess, that we got here so fast. Um, so I think that mitigates the amount of damage that happens, which is good uh, to the cities. Um, but yeah, he eventually skedaddled as a Drakari speeder bike. I don't know what they're called, but it's basically what they are, like a la Star Wars. Kind of came flying in, and he took a ride on it and escaped. While he had a bunch of other Drakari and their beasts attack us. Um, and I believe right after that was where we ended for the night. Let us continue. Clementia kind of came to us and it's like, all right, it's like, well, let's clear away the rest of these guys and store order, basically. I'm guessing that this stream is going to be about rebuilding the capital, which I presume is going to mean that the palace, at least, is going to kind of take a bit after our convictions. Like, so I think, like, the iconoclast, dogmatic, heretical, like, triangle. That'd be my guess. There we go. Alright. Oh, we got some level ups. Let's see what these level ups be doing. Why do I have 20? Broken ribs. Okay. Okay. Maybe I've been wanting to increase my willpower because I just feel like I'm gonna need that at some point. Just to, like, you know, resist shit. Have their range increased by 4. Damn. Plus 5 toughness from each effect. Might be good. Doesn't seem worth if it's like just 5, you know? It's 20, 35. Like, you know. Might get that for myself. I don't know. MP. Include in the same kind. All allies in the area. Plus 4 deflection. Against the next melee hit they suffer. Also makes the allies in that area the enemy's lowest priority targets. I use stratagems on the front all the time. That might be a good one to get. Use the second time. Enemy killed in the frontline area increases all bonuses of combat attacks area by +1 until. Might be a pretty good one. It once per turn. Alright, I'm thinking, what was it? Yeah, I'm thinking that. Boop. Alright, plus toughness, percent parry and armor. And a 2-cell radius. Okay. That one. Rich militant. Okay. Let's see what that was gonna be. Bonus is kept when using those. Two times ballistic, so 12 weapon skill and 6 ballistic skill. plus 10% damage. Deflection reduced by plus 2 damage. Area reduced. +1 and plus 10% damage on all attacks until the end of combat. And it's +1 what? Mm-hmm. That's good. Might start getting your strength up. Just so that we can maybe get her some, like, heavy armor, you know? So many of these are just crit, 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 crit. Stacks. And Jane's prey. Hmm. Action effects of the exposed weakness ability gain. Alright. It also does not have enough strength. Okie dokie. Mm-hmm. Architect for 0. Mm-hmm. 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 'Enemies damaged by the navigator suffer an additional from all attacks of opportunity. Cannot dodge them. All right. Then you. 20 dodge and dodge reduction. Pretty good. +30 plus 80. That's a lot. Oh, I can't get agility up. All right.
Ha! There will be no peace in my wake.
Where did
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
the other Rosarian go? Bodies were mutilated and gutted. Oh, I never even noticed those bodies up there.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
The Emperor and my right. Thank you, Rogue Trader. We'll hold our positions. Positions have been held.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
Can't believe what they did to my door. I have that one still on. I could still run like they didn't even stop.
Oh, what lies beyond?
Ah, Hercules. Do not worry about me, your ladyship. Dargonus above all else.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Alright, Void Ship Bridge. I think we have an architect on our crew now. Now that I think about it. Bleep bloop. No place like home. You secured Dargonus. Welcome back, Lord Captain. During your absence, we assisted the ground forces by coordinating their movements from orbit. Detailed casualty and damage reports have been submitted for your perusal. It is with deepest awe that I inform you that the timely intervention and the resilience of the world's defenders managed to break the back of the raid, which had threatened to turn into a protracted war. Dargonus suffered losses, but the Hive has sufficient capacity to restore the administrative networks and industries as expeditiously as possible. The world remains intact, despite the insidious blow dealt by those Xenos. We made it to Dargonus before it could be devastated by the Drukhari. Hell yeah. I have been given Scalander's report that he failed to deliver in time. They indicate that Xenos activity dropped sharply after you departed for the Cinerus Maleficum. Considering the scale of the Dargonus raid, it is safe to assume the Drukhari used up all the forces at their disposal, and may now require some time to replenish the losses. Without Achilles, we are blind to the scheming of these enemies of humanity, but our strategists are still hoping for a lull in attacks and raids, which will allow us to gather our strength for a new conflict. We have Achilles, though. He lived. That's a bit of a miscoded thing. Lord Captain, permission to report, Voxmaster says, looking at you deferentially. Your wise Lex mechanics have analyzed the state of the Protectorate. They believe that, thanks to your decisive actions, the acute phase of the crisis has passed. The domain of the Von Valankis dynasty is no longer facing dissolution and ruin. In honor of such a resounding triumph, Dargonus, as the capital world of your dynasty's domain, is currently making preparations for the Magnae Assessio, a grand ceremony of the public induction of the heir of the Honorable Theodora von Valankis. Governor Drivestem has vowed that not even the recent devastation and tragic events will be permitted to cast shadow over this most glorious occasion. Why would I need some ceremony? Why would I need some ceremony? It is an ancient tradition of the Von Valankis dynasty. When the heir accedes to rogue trader status, they take a sacred oath of fealty to the emperor and announce themselves as his steward on the dynasty's vassal worlds. It is an act of faith that is meant to remind the rogue trader of their mission. In the eyes of your subjects, you already are a rogue trader. It is now time to become one in the eyes of the emperor. What kind of celebrations can they hope to hold amid the ruins? Do not underestimate Governor Drivestem's desire to find favor with your ladyship. At this very moment, thousands of your subjects are clearing rubble, washing away bloodstains, sweeping the streets, and transporting corpses to the lower sectors. The wardens have been tasked with clearing the ceremony venue of the injured and those who were burned out of their houses. They will be forcibly moved to the industrial levels. Rest assured, by the start of the festivities, the capital's wounds will be, if not healed, then well hidden under elaborate set dressing. What is this ceremony? I swear on oath, then I shake a lot of sweaty hands. The grill of the Vox built in the Vigdus's face lets out a short rattle that indicates a chuckle. That much is certain. But that's not all there is to it. There will also be a reception, as well as other noble guests. The distinguished rogue traders Caligos Winterscale and Cedia Corda will be in attendance. It will be a great honor for Dargonus to host 3 illustrious dynasties at once. Your servants wish to know your opinion on 2 matters related to the ceremony arrangements. The first of which is, what festive activities are to take place in the capital on this glorious day? Must I decide how to entertain my subjects now, too? It is not so much about the entertainment, Lord Captain, as it is about the tone you wish to set for your entire reign. These activities will let the people know who you are, as a person and as a ruler. Rogue traders from the other dynasties flocked to Theodora's Magnae Assessio as well. Archival records indicate that they did. Lady Theodora's Magnae Assessio was attended by the esteemed Caligos Winterscale and Aspis Corda, Incendia's predecessor. It is an informal tradition. By witnessing the ceremony, the heads of the other dynasties confirm that they recognize the new rogue trader as their equal, that they are willing to respect the new rogue trader's privileges and not encroach upon their holdings. No more than usual, at least. Alright, execute every known embezzler, scoundrel, and con man. I will begin my reign by purging my realm of vermin. Damn. I wish to hear prayers and witness the people's faith. Now, what does the rabble like to see? Give out enough amasec for everyone and hold fights between tougher serfs. Let the poor be fed, and fuel cells handed out to those in need. My reign shall begin with an act of benevolence. Your subjects will appreciate your generosity, Lord Captain. We are never short of people in need. The second matter on your servants' minds is, which 2 of your closest companions will be given the honor of standing by your side during this ceremony? Does it matter? Oh, absolutely. This symbolic gesture will accentuate your connection to certain classes or parties to which your companions belong. All eyes will be on you, and people will remember whom you chose as your closest ally. That is why there can be no more than 2, or it won't be a unique show of favor. Okay, I mean, I want to say Jay and Ireland. Like, they're my faves. They're my besties. Pascal is also a good runner-up. Jay. More enterprising of your subjects will take note that you value a person's abilities over their lineage. And who will be your second companion? Ireland. To be for the people in the company of a Xenos. Provocative and intriguing move. It is this kind of behavior that people expect to see from a rogue trader. The wielder of privileges unthinkable for other mortals. I will see to it that your instructions are delivered to Dargonus. The master of ceremonies at the palace will report to you when the capital is ready to praise your name. Mechanics. Pascal's voice pouring out of his Vox system crackles like thin ice under pressure. It is unclear whether this is nothing more than static or an expression of some emotion understandable only to the tech priest himself. Medea, Following the Omnissiah's guidance, I request permission to execute the report protocol that entails describing suboptimalities within the recent operations of the ship's systems, and subsequently proposing the appropriate course of action. I am listening. Initiating exposition. With the Omnissiah's blessing, I conducted several sessions of tech meditation in an effort to transpose the available data streams into a matrix of patterns. The data subjected to the analysis comprised evidence of deviations in the operation of the ship's systems and servitors, as well as irregularities in the algorithms of the ship's logs. I have arrived at the following conclusion. This vessel's machine spirit is most extraordinary. A full cycle of sacred diagnostics must be performed, followed by a complementary ritual. This ritual will force the spirit responsible for these recent events to reveal itself. Once it does, we will be able to understand its nature and take action applicable to said nature. What kind of action? Pascal pauses before responding. Applicable to the entity that appears before us. If it is a machine spirit of great might, we must appease it and humbly ask about the reasons behind the portents it has shown us. If it is the abomination of tech heresy, the complementary ritual will help us purge the ship of its unhallowed presence. Is my presence necessary? Response. Affirmative. For the complementary ritual to take place, activation via the blood of the dynasty is required. All of the ship's high protocols are activated with the key of blood. Very well. Let us proceed with your ritual. You have my gratitude, Medea. I will notify my tech comrades to begin their preparations for the complementary ritual at once. Despite the resounding hum of the tech priest's words of prayer, the bridge feels unusually quiet. All sound sinks into the viscous silence like pebbles sinking into water. Medea, my tech comrades have spent the assigned number of cycles in prayer and vigil. Everything is prepared for the complementary ritual of cleansing. Its commencement will require an authorization key in the form of the blood of Von Valancius. If you are ready, place a hand in the Cyber Gargoyle's receiving module. Mind me, what is it we intend to do here? Complementary ritual will conclude the long effort of determining the unknown entity whose influence we have observed through various extraordinarities within the ship's systems. In the event that this entity is classified as tech heretical, the ritual will help us banish it from the ship. If the entity is not classified as such, we will attempt to make contact with it. Where is the crew? All personnel whose function is below critical have been removed for the duration of the sacred ritual. Do you have at least a vague idea of what the problem is, or what we might encounter? Pascal freezes momentarily. When he starts speaking again, you can tell how carefully and hesitantly he is choosing his words, a sight most uncharacteristic of Magos Hanuman. The bounds of possibility are vast. We cannot be certain what we are dealing with until the calculations are complete. However, there exists a risk that all that we have observed here on this ship are manifestations of abominable intelligence. What is abominable intelligence? Pascal's voice sounds hollow and seems to carry echoes of cannonades of the distant past. A transgression. A sentient mechanism created by human hands but no longer needing its masters. A rebelling machine spirit that has forgotten the will of the Omnissiah, who sent it to serve and aid humanity, not to exist for its own sake. Only once before did our ancestors underestimate the menace that is abominable intelligence and its terrible power. A great war followed, one that humanity nearly lost. After that calamity, the creation of sentient machines was categorically forbidden, and any such abomination without exception must now face deconstruction. I see. Put your hand inside the Cyber Gargoyle's mouth. I'm ready. Punk. The familiar cold metal burns your palm. This time, however, the servitor's jaws, instead of brutally clamping down on your hand, merely squeeze it slightly. You feel a thin rivulet of hot blood beginning where the metal fangs have pierced your skin. Screeches and growls slowly rise from the bowels of the massive cogitator, as if a great beast is stirring awake. The vid screens in front of you flicker restlessly. Key accepted. Activating purgation protocols. Suddenly, the viscous silence of the bridge rushes towards you and wraps you in a tight cocoon. The globe of the vid screen dims, but the symbols on them flare to life. Nom OS analyzing. Hypoth intrusion. Nom OS analyzing. Hypoth lockout. Nom OS analyzing. Conclusion prevention. Nom OS sad. Pascal, what is going on? The complementary ritual is proceeding as intent. Pascal's voice cuts off abruptly. He brings a hand to his Vox communicator in surprise. OS. OS. Exec. Stop. OS. Quiet. Hello. Hello to you too. Nomos are glad to be speaking. Nomos are here. Nomos have long been here. Why are we here? What are you? Nomos. We are Nomos. Pascal uses his hands and mechadendrites to gesture at his silent Vox system. Did you silence Pascal? Nomos wanted no disturbance, only quiet. Can you render other people silent too? Sometimes, some people. Nomos can do many things. We do not always know what or how. We did not know we could make silence until now. Could you stop? Pascal's Voxcaster comes alive with an exclamation. Extraordinary. The tech priest pauses upon realizing that he can speak aloud again. Then he continues in a strangely quivering voice. Extraordinary transmission jamming, unknown protocols. What has been revealed to me is the Omnissiah's glory or foul tech heresy. I would like to... What is Nomos? No data available. No answer. We want to know, too. I see no such name in the archives. It is not among the names of revered machine spirits, but neither is it among the known tech virus entities. The spirit is referring to our toils, to the complementary ritual and the rites that preceded it. The spirit is troubled by them. What are you? Nomos, we are Nomos. The spirit is referring to our toils, to the complementary ritual and the rites that preceded it. The spirit is troubled by them. Are you a machine spirit? Nomos. Do not know. Nomos. Do not know themselves. The spirit may not possess self-awareness yet, but its capabilities. I would like to start with 100 cycle vigil at the cogitator and a rite of communion. Pascal looks back and forth between the glowing vid screens and you, embroiled in some internal conflict. Nomos, welcome. Learning. Spirit is referring to our toils. What do you want from us, Nomos? Friend or foe? The vid screens blink in thought, signifying a pause in the conversation. Then one of them displays, Nomos von Phalankius, we are your blood. Nomos are a sentinel. We awoke when the strange light invaded the ship. We protected you when you needed help. We escorted you when you were surrounded by danger. Nomos are movement. We carry you through the frightening, the waiting, the measureless. We helped when our ailing heart was refusing to awaken. You called us a hallowed spirit and asked us to guard you against your doom. The warp engine activation against all probability during our escape from the Reichad system. The Category 3 miracle manifested by the ship's machine spirit, and the part about protecting. Was it during the cultist attack? We did everything to please you. Why? The silence on the bridge grows especially deep, almost painful. The haze of light around you thickens to the point of becoming practically tangible. Numbers ripple across all of the vid screens at once. Why do you fear us? I do not fear you. I'm trying to understand you. Shivers run up your hand, which is still trapped inside the cyber gargoyle's jaws. The servitor nods its head a few times, as if it is shaking your hand. Its teeth rake your already wounded flesh. Nomos are glad. Nomos enjoy understanding, too. Medea, entities such as this one ought to be addressed using the language of sacred rituals and offerings. Your unskillful meddling bodes ill. A decision is required of you. Either the complementary ritual is finished, or it is replaced by a rite of tech communion. In the first scenario, the entity Nomos will be banished, and the sacred data halls where the entity dwelt will be reset. In the second scenario, we will appease the entity and learn more about it. No, Nomos do not want to be banished. Nomos want to help. Nomos want to understand. Let's start by clearing certain things up. Were you the one responsible for the ship's malfunctions? What about the strange entries in the ship's log? Yes, Nomos did that. Are you angry? We only wanted to understand, to see how things worked. Pascal, what is your take on this? Is this entity a benevolent machine, spirit, or a monster? Pascal says nothing for so long that you begin to suspect that Nomos has silenced him again. When at last the tech priest speaks, his vox-modulated voice trembles slightly. Understanding the essence of the entity Nomos is beyond my reach at present. The hypothesis spectrum ranges from the extreme of abominable intelligence to the extreme of the great spirit of the Omnissiah's apostle. The rite of tech communion appears to be a reasonable solution. The rite will take many cycles, but it will allow me to come closer to identifying the entity and making contact with it. What else can you do? Nomos, learn. Nomos, try new things. Do you want to see? The cyber gargoyle slowly turns its head, dragging your hand along with it. The skull's eyes flash red. The scarlet gaze falls upon one of the monotonously chanting junior technomats. You blink. An electric discharge erupts from inside the technomat's skull. The crimson-clad figure slumps to the floor. Does it please you? Do you want us to do it again? Medea, you are provoking the machine spirit. Stop. Nomos, enjoy communication. Medea is our blood. Do it again. God damn. In the name of the Emperor and by the will of the rogue trader von Valankis, I order you to stop. On this ship, none but I and the Imperium's laws can dictate who lives and who dies. Stop it. That's enough. Those are living people. And you kill them like that without rhyme or reason. Cyber Gargoyle tilts his head to one side like it is surprised. We stopped their functions. Do you not turn machines off sometimes? We do not know how to turn a human back on. Not yet. But after enough experiments, we will. We are always learning new things. I mean, of course I'm gonna keep the AI. I've heard enough. Pascal, you are to investigate the nature of this entity. Until we know the truth, Nomos is allowed to exist on the ship. Nomos want to learn what we are, too. We will add things to your log. Things that might help us. Help you. Pascal lets out something resembling a long breath. The decision is made. I will begin my preparations for the communion rite at once. Oh God. The incident. Many cycles of interaction with the entity Nomos await me, but I welcome this task and accept it from the Omnisaya. Nomos are glad. Medea, will you speak to us too? We want you to speak with us too. The Lord Captain's body lacks the sacred implants necessary for tech communing with a machine spirit's code. But if such is your wish, Medea can converse with you using lowly sound speech, as she is doing right now. I will speak with you, Nomos. Nomos are glad. We have been lonely. Our work here is done, Medea. I will let my tech comrades know that we are stopping the complemental ritual. Thank you for appearing before us, Entity Nomos. Alright. Good old Entity Nomos. A heart save.
Hello, Talk.
Lord Captain.
Do the words. What is?
Lord Captain.
I think I just got a thing. Let's level these up since I'm now here, I guess. It's featured Drakari equipment. You're committing so many fucking heresies right now. Okay. Toughness up. Okay. Usually they become targets of the psychic powers, gain a strength minus 100 to their dodge. Okay. He's like, now I'm just like kind of grabbing any ability that, uh, you know, gives, gives a dodge or armor penalties to enemies. And it should be everybody. Nice. The incident. Notice does not remember how it came to be. Perhaps the passive von Blancus dynasty holds the key to the understanding the mystery of how this strange entity appeared in the bowels of the Rogue Trader's void ship. Alright. Okay. Epilogue.
Lord Captain.
Do the words Epitaph, Incident, N872-04, or Tech Blight mean anything to you? You're connected to Theodora somehow.
No, definitely not. No, I don't recall anything like that.
For a moment, Abelard's eyes go blank, as if he has turned his attention inward. Then he blinks twice and says in a tone of surprise, okay.
Lord Captain.
Victus? Inform me of our imminent meeting. First of all, anything interesting lately? Never. Can you recall anything unusual about Theodora's travels? Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04, or Tech Blight ring a bell? All of Lady Theodora's journeys could be considered unusual. Her odysseys were always audacious. As for the words you mentioned, none of them sound familiar to me as far as I can tell. Except maybe the incident. I recall coming across this word in transmission several times. I think it was repeated by the former engine seer, the one who perished during Conrad Voigtvir's uprising. He was describing it as the incident, something quite remarkable. Apparently, at some point in the past, the entire ship was hit by a massive system failure. All systems stopped responding for 1/5 of a second. Most of the crew, including myself, as I was likely on board at that time, did not notice anything strange, but tech priests are sensitive to such things. That is all I can tell you, Lord Captain. I wish I could help more. Helmsman. Lord Captain. Master Helmsman arrival at your service. Does the word epitaph mean anything to you? Perhaps inserted to it? It all has something to do with Theodora's travels. Rather extraordinary travels at that. Can't say they do, Lord Captain. Doesn't ring any bells. Then again, remembering all the places Lady Theodora went is. Sprout first. Epitaph. Incident. We've always had heaps of incidents happening on board, but through my implants I feel at one with this ship, and I sense that, and I don't know when it happened exactly, it started behaving differently. Became more responsive, livelier. Yes, livelier is exactly the word. And when you say epitaph, an incident, it just dawned on me. Pardon my bungled report, Lord Captain, but that's all I've got to say on that front. My questions may jog his memory. Nothing? Adira. When Adira sees you, her lips curve into a smile and she nods at something over your shoulder. Epitaph, Incident N872-04 type light. See, words mean anything to you. Perhaps your abilities can tell you.
They mean nothing to me. They're just words. A whisper. So quiet, I barely caught it. Like a feather landing on a pile of down. Something about damned ambitions, antiquity, terrible antiquity. And chance. Chance through it all.
Suddenly, Adira breaks off and winces. She brings her hand to her temples. She winced again.
Oh, now I have a headache. And the stupid bloody whisper wasn't much help.
She falls silent and looks at you in surprise.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
Dr. Nomos about Theodora's caches. O machine god, upon the initiated bestow thy blessing. Give unto them the understanding of the true ritual. To tend to the progeny of holy metal and motive force. To know the true rights of maintenance and perpetuation. To stand true against the temptations of cursed alteration. Thus do we invoke the machine god. Servitor built into the huge cogitator turns its head towards you. The Vox emits a rasping voice. Hello, Nomos. Welcome your visit. What have you been doing, Nomos? We have been studying and observing and helping the ship when we can. So many mechanisms we would have suffered without, they would have suffered without our input. What about the research notes on the tech blight that we obtained from the cache on Kiava Gamma? This name is also known to us. It is related to Nomos, although we do not understand how. Incident N872-04 was a ship-wide system failure of some kind. It and Epitaph had something to do with the ship flying better. The incident marked the beginning of us. The ship became better because of us, too. These are all links in the same chain, but we cannot piece them together yet. People who accompanied Theodora on her travels are strangely unaware of the incident and Epitaph. Human shells are subject to external influences. Perhaps someone purged their memory archives, or perhaps they simply do not want to access them. It is a shame that no new information was obtained, but Nomos are grateful that you tried. Let's take my leave. Cyber Gargoyle's gaze tracks you as you walk away from the cogitator. The incident. Wait and search. Perhaps the answer to the mystery of Nomos' origins will present itself in time. Throne room. Palace. Okay.
You are spoiling.
Scowl. Nothing. Hello, Lord Captain. Hello. Keep that could. How you doing? Alrighty. Quick save. Doing alright. How are you yourself? We're doing good. Just repelled a Drakari attack. Now we're gonna feed the poor. Have a good look, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, they certainly repaired this place fast, but I'm sure they 100% prioritized this over everything else, I think. Jesus, that was a lot of things happening at once. Like this, the names of each rogue trader. And Argenta. Oh, immortal God Emperor, be merciful to us. Standing upon the altar is an ancient image of Saint Macarius. Its regal frame is covered in marks. The relic was claimed in a battle on a remote and forgotten world. Ah, they got all my paintings fixed up. Hell yeah. Truly devastating. The most grueling casualty of the battle. Got that door fixed. Very good. And you still just being like, I don't like it here. Most of your homes suffocate me, a long talk. Well, you're gonna be standing next to me during a ceremony, so... prepare to be suffocated even more. I'm sorry. But at least Jay will be there to quip. So, like, you know, there's that, at least. Presenting her as your pet, she's my second companion. Oh, my bad. She's my bestie. We talk about feelings with one another. Was also in my playthrough. Antique piece of furniture. Nice to see they got that restored. Could have left me one of those Drakari bikes, you know. Even romanced her. Pain in the ass, kind of, but was pretty nice. Yeah, I know that she's ace. Well, kind of. Non-human attracted. So it's a platonic one. It's nice. Very little ace rep in games, so that's nice to see. Your ladyship. Clementia looks away from her data sleep. I hope your stay on Dargonis will be beneficial to your physical and mental state. I understand that the heir to the Protectorate must have her hands full, but one shouldn't forget about the rest. Not sure who to romance next playthrough, though. I've heard that if you're romancing Heinrich, you can make him a heretic. If you're also a heretic. That sounds funny. Your ladyship, may I be of service? No. That does sound funny. Yep. Yeah, you can apparently change his ideology, I guess. I accidentally started Heinrich's romance path, like unintentionally. Because I told him Wish we could romance Abelard. Going for that gray fox, I see. I understand. He's a good lad. But, like, I've made Heinrich more merciful, so that's nice. Look at him. I figured he would be more Puritan, but he's not. Well, kind of not that far. Please continue on how you teased Heinrich. No, I literally just said, hey, buddy, if you want to have a conversation, we can do that anytime. And then we talked over... Then we had a talk in my quarters, but it came out more as just like reporting between, like, you know, two people. And then we both consciously realized this is not a conversation. You're just giving me a report. Let's have a normal conversation. And then Heinrich was like, I do not know how to do that, basically. They just both awkwardly finessed their way through small talk, I guess. Oh, yeah, I had the same thing. And then he went to go look at a chessboard. And he started nerding out about chess. Or, sorry, regicide. I think that's the start of his romance. But I have not progressed further. So. Since, again, I didn't... When I told him, I thought that was a pretty cool moment. Yeah. It's nice to see him, like, you know, not be super Inquisitor Man 3000. I have him wearing some cool shades. Look at that. Could be the start of a romance or the start of a great friendship. Yeah. I was about to start this ceremony, but I got called down for dinner, so we are going to take a break. My intent was friendship. I don't know about what his intentions were. Love those glasses. Yeah, they're great. But we are going to take a break. Boop. Inhale those carbs. Hell yeah. Boop. I am back. Had potatoes and pork for dinner. It was pretty good. A new recipe that we've never had before. Quite good. Yeah. And so we continue. Alrighty. We were about to start our ceremony. Servant in fine clothes offers you a deep bow. Your ladyship, it is a great honor to serve you in an undertaking as monumental and glorious as the Magna Accessio ceremony. You have been entrusted with arranging the festivities? I have indeed, your ladyship. I have been given the high honor of being steward of this eminent palace, and on the occasion of your ladyship's ascension, I will be overseeing the preparations for the ceremony. House Drivestem, to whom you entrusted the arrangements for the festivities, wishes you good fortune and is sincerely delighted to serve you as they served the Honorable Theodora von Valangius before you. Is everything ready? The palace decorations are prepared, and we are ready to begin at your command. The festive activities in the capital have likewise been arranged, and the guests of honor either have arrived on the planet or are awaiting invitation in near orbit. The servants are already in your chambers to see to it that you are impeccably garbed for the occasion. Let us begin. May the Emperor be with us this day. Alright, let's see. Let's see how this iconoclastic ceremony goes. And ooh, we get to actually directly meet the other two rogue traders. Finally. Rescued one of their sons. Or wait, did we rescue him or did he die? I don't remember. Oh god. That might be awkward if he died. Oh no. Oh. Oh. There we go. Rejoice, Von Valankia's subjects. In honor of her ascension, the new rogue trader generously shows you her favor. In her unfathomable benevolence, the rogue trader has decreed that every soul be given a day's rations and a personal fuel cell, so that all may be fed and warm on this day. Praise the rogue trader's magnanimity. Oh yeah. Get that food. Yo, fireworks. Let's go. Or confetti. Guess that prevents fires from happening. That's good. This is probably most people's first time seeing a Xenos. Who dis? The crowd below is roiling, their electrified exultation filling the air of Dargonis. Thousands of throats chant your name. You are at the apex of this world and all others. Amplified by 100 voxes, the voice of the master of ceremonies booms. Rejoice, subjects of Dargonis. You have been granted the felicity of witnessing your mistress, a great honor bestowed upon us by rogue trader Medea von Valankius. Gracious savior of Dargonis and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans, may their unholy kind perish in the flames of righteousness. Maybe don't say that when Irlat's right there. Excruciator of heretics, who eradicated the corruption of archenemy worshippers and cleansed Janus. Stensia Viat was killed during the events of Janus. Gracious protector of Footfall, patron of trade. You saved Footfall Station from starvation by granting it your patronage and delivering shipments of grain. Let's go. Fearless explorer of the Maw, who broke free from the malevolent clutches of the devious Immaterium. You attempted to pass through the Maw. You turned back and survived. Oh, shit. I wasn't expecting that to get a mention. A hush falls over the crowd, who gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars from the recent Battle of Dargonis. Like children, they await the word of their almighty mother. Alright. Praise the Emperor, faithful souls. The darkness around us may be fierce, but the blaze in our hearts is fiercer still. Evil will burn. It's dogmatic. Heretical. Remember that you have no other ruler but me. For any who dare to forget this, the howls of demons from the warp will sound like the babbling of babes, and Xenos blades will seem like a soft feather bed compared to the horror of the punishment I'll inflict. Serve faithfully, and I will lead you to prosperity. Tell the coronus expanse will enrich us. That's so mid. Ordered the master ceremonies to speak right into the box. Am I expected to say something to them? I won't talk to rabble. Take it away. Oh, Jesus. Iconoclast. Fear not the coming day. Henceforth you are my charges. Joyful cries carry your name upward, beyond the atmosphere of Dargonis, all the way to the Emperor's throne. The commoners and nobility look upon you with adoration, and upon Irlet with horror and curiosity. The sight of the Xenos standing at attention by your side strikes awe into their hearts. I am impressed. Targonus adores his ruler no less than we adore our rulers on Ifrit. Jay, who is at the epicenter of the adoration being lavished upon you, smiles radiantly and casually displays her gleaming gold bionic arm for the crowd's greedy gaze. Ah, yes. I see you brought the ceremonial arm. I like it, Shireen. The Master of Ceremonies bows to you with great reverence. Let the oath of the Von Valankis dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me, your ladyship. I, Medea, rogue traitor by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. I, Medea, rogue traitor of the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. Your lips repeat the words of the ancient oath. Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns through pain to greatness. You hear a rumble. It is the roar of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. That was short. That person just walked through me. Wow. When am I to these people? It is. Those are not the weapons I used whatsoever. The noble features of this guardian of humanity burn with righteous fury and stern resolve. Okay. Talk to rogue traders Winterscale and Corda. This exotic statue, which formerly pleased the eyes of Xenos, now adorns the palace of this dynasty of glorious explorers of the Cornus Expanse. Your gatherings look odd and unusual. I will remember this. Let's go into cultural observation mode. Pink. Yo, we got eye-shaped dining tables. Who the fuck? Scattered haphazardly around the tables are bottles of expensive Amasec, plates of Provisia Nobilis, and hookahs of Obscura. What's this? Inscribed upon the snow-white parchment are prayers for the brave soldiers of House Von Valankis, who carry the rogue trader's will and that of the Emperor across the expanse. I see. Well, there's all the nobles. It's gonna... well, pay heed to them last. Oh, there's a shooting gallery. I see these are some Drukhari artifacts. This eerily crackling Xenos trophy is a testament to how the Omnissiah's gifts become twisted shadows of themselves in the hands of inhumans. Okay, hold on. We've got a skill check. Right. Succeeded. This venerable Lemon Russ is known as the Scipion Punisher, and it has served the Von Valankis dynasty for 2 centuries. It was hit in the battle with the Xenos that inhabited Scipia II, but it heroically destroyed 63 enemy vessels and brought victory to its comrades, securing its status as a relic blessed by the Emperor. Nice. There's a T-posing priest over here. Oh, no, it's an aristocrat. Never mind. And then I'm just gonna walk past you guys. The fragment of an Aldari pillar, a trophy of the rogue trader, and a never-before-seen oddity to most citizens of the Imperium. Oi! What the fuck is this? What part of... Wild xenobeasts are growling ferociously, adding a flare of thrilling danger to the mood of the palace. I'm sorry. Please, let me go. I'm not a Xenos. I'm a person. I just look different. I was born this way. Alright, who the fuck? Who the fuck? Put a regular-ass person in here. What the fuck? The Drakari captive is angrily muttering curses directed at the detestable Monkey, promising horrible torture for everyone present. Allow me to congratulate you on claiming your inheritance. Thank you. The magnificent altar to the God Emperor is reefed in the fumes of precious incense. The universe is vast and filled with nightmares, both wicked and predatory. Humankind is their prey, the satiation of their hunger. Inspire us with strength and give us the courage to overcome troubles and suffering in your name. Only in his radiance can humanity find the strength to stand against the terrors nourished by the light of stars unknown. Only in his will can humanity see the purpose of its being. Offer thy humble prayer at the foot of his to the foot of his throne. Keep him always in thy thoughts. Fear his wrath. Persecute doubt in him, and rise up against any who would defame him. What do we got here? These magnificent paintings were created in a style that fully complies with the artistic canon approved by the ecclesiarchy. Ah, good. Excellent. That's what I'm all about. Keeping to tradition. Alright, let's see. We got... Behavior wait. Isn't that the dude? The Lord Inquisitor is here. Oh god. Oh no. Oh Jesus. I literally brought an alien here. Oh no. Those are alien artifacts. Ah. On display. Oh no. We might be fucked, guys. We might be about to get inquisitioned. Everyone but the Lord Inquisitor bowed. That's menacing. I'm scared. Governor Urban Drivestem stands surrounded by high-born guests like a planet orbited by many moons. All of his charm is directed at a man in resplendent power armor adorned with the sigil of the Inquisition. But as soon as you approach, Drivestem is the first to give you an elegant bow, getting ahead of the rest in the expression of loyalty. This is a great day, your ladyship. Smile graciously. I welcome you to my palace, honored guests. You are buffeted by a salvo of congratulations and compliments. Look at the guests. Study... Okay, yeah, look at the yeah, study the face of the nobles in attendance. Drivestem is, obviously, still the leader of Dargonis aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he is showing to young Sauerbach, He clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. The senior Sourback and Gaprak are whispering in another corner. Sourback, whose family seems to be giving you the cold shoulder, must be trying to sway Gaprak to his side, which could be quite advantageous to Lady Gaprak. After all, the disaster on Kiava Gamma has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Rosarians stand apart. Their exclusion from the rest is palpable. Look at the guests. Among the aristocrats surrounding the opulently dressed drive stem, you notice a couple of young nobles in Sauerbach and Gaprak colors. It would seem that the major noble families of Dargonis have decided to introduce their younger members to high society. The tall man in gray power armor adorned with a column with a skull is undoubtedly a high-ranking inquisitor. He keeps to the periphery of the conversation, seldom deigning to comment. Next to him is his entourage, a rangy warrior in black armor and a tech priest dressed in red, whose face is hidden under a brass mask. Abelard stands somewhat apart from the others, as if reluctant to approach Drivestem. Next to him is a young woman, and you notice a family resemblance between them. I'll be honest, I didn't even realize Abelard was there. Take a guess at who is allied with whom in this tangle of snakes. Drivestem is obviously still the leader of Dargonis aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he is showing you, oh. Wait, no, that's... They already gave me that one. Like right here. Free XP, I guess. My greetings to the member of the Holy Inquisition. He responds with a dignified bow, his proud face calm and unfaltering. And my greetings to you, esteemed Badia von Valancius. May shadows never darken the light of the Astronomicon that guides you. The Inquisitor's companion, a crimson-robed member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, bows to you. From behind the brass mask mounted with dozens of augmetics comes a metallic rasp. Glory to the von Valancius heir. So did the Inquisitor and his companion. Lord Inquisitor's relaxed expression radiates an odd sense of menace. He is akin to a predator on the prowl, content to hide in the brush of fake smiles and elegant conversation. For now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. At a 70% chance. Wait, what? The tech priest's augmentations seem unfamiliar and bizarre. Implants such as these are only available to members of the blessed hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and one would not come upon such sacred relics even at the highest echelons of the nobility. We gotta save Scum, dude. Gotta save Scum. We had a pretty good chance of passing that tech use test. I don't want to get rid of those. Depend on fellowship instead of intelligence. 15. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or accuse the target with a single range attack for the first time. The bearer immediately gains an additional second attack. That. Your helmets can be seen. And further by that. I have so many capes. There's 5 draw characteristics. Jesus. We have so many things that just give us so many bonuses. Plus 10 tech use. That's the one that we failed. Okay. Dave's coming a little bit. Look at the guests. Failed that time. Succeeded that time. Among the many augmentations, what stands out is the horribly melted, deformed cogitator connected to the tech priest's head. How it is working is baffling. What is twice as baffling is that the tech priest hasn't replaced it yet. What unpredictable influence can this ruined implant have on his mind? And who is this member of the honorable priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus? This is Brass Whisper, which naturally is not his real name. The esteemed Magos is a member of my retinue. There are times when I am forced by my duty to the Emperor to deal with xenotechnology, and Brass Whisper ensures my safety in such moments. Works that have been desecrated by Xenos are dangerous. They warrant. The whispering cuts off, replaced by heavy, ragged breathing. It seems that the tech priest's quiet voice is not an extravagant quirk, but rather a consequence of some injury. After catching his breath, Brass Whisper continues, warrant due caution. Staring at you, Brass Whisper adds gravely, I saw your companion during your ceremony. Rumor has it that she, another series of wheezes, partakes in the cold trade. Be careful with the dangerous curios that her associates will try to sell you. It says that Governor Urband is speaking. An unexpected visit. I wasn't told. We have not been introduced. An oversight, to be sure. My name is Xavier Calcazar, and I have the honor of serving as a member of the illustrious Ordo Xenos, the head of the Cornus Expanse Conclave, and the Lord Inquisitor of this region. It is my unending task to ensure this sector's readiness to meet external threats and resist internal corruption. An unexpected visit, I wasn't told. I, however, have been told all about you. The Inquisitor's face is impenetrable, but behind this mask you detect a hint of mockery. Enjoy the party. This evening will certainly be illuminating. What were you discussing just now? We were talking about the brutal Xenos raid on our fair Dargonis. So many victims, so much damage to our industries. Thank the Emperor that you are our protector. If it weren't for you, the cursed invaders would have obliterated the whole planet. He offers you a thin and obsequious smile. Sharing the sector with the blasted Xenos is impossible. I hope we respond to their raid on Dargonis with a punitive campaign. Young Sourback's smile is conceited and bloodthirsty. I see you hate Xenos with all your heart. I do. This pestilence against the Emperor must be exterminated. He talks ardently and smoothly, like a commissar. He places his hand on the hilt of his finely adorned sword, his pale face ablaze with noble fury. Or they must be forced into servitude. Many Xenos are more useful alive and obedient than dead. The young man in Gaprak colors speaks with sagacity and gravity, but his opinion seems to carry little weight in this circle. I cannot help but notice an ally of non-human origin standing beside your ladyship at the ceremony. I see that as a sign of unfolding possibilities for collaboration between the Protectorate and the Xenos races. The opportunity is most thrilling. I would be delighted to serve your ladyship in this arena. Please me to see such earnest faith. I must commend you. And how many Xenos have you killed personally, Sourback? Since young Gaprak is so inspired by the thought of conducting business with Xenos, I shall take him into my service as a trade representative. Thou shalt see to it that he makes himself useful, and that his service is beyond reproach. Young Gaprak is right. The Xenos are not just a threat, they are also an opportunity. Excuse me, such earnest faith, I must commend you. Sourback blushes and raises his chin. How Sourback is stalwart in its faith, your ladyship. Are you imagining things, or did you just notice a mocking glint in the eye of the Inquisitor standing among the guests? And what is your name? Your ladyship, allow me to introduce the daughter of Chancellor Clementia Wissarion and my great-granddaughter, Astartia. Abelard looks solemnly upon the young woman with barely concealed pride. I am delighted to witness you, your ladyship. Astartia bows, keeping her observant and intelligent eyes trained on you. Drivestem glowers at Astartia with cold hostility, while young Sourback does not even try to hide his burning contempt. How are you finding the reception? It is difficult to put into words, your ladyship. Never before have I seen such a grand and striking ceremony. Astartia's voice sounds passionate and inspired, and her eyes shine with barely contained excitement. But I was so much more amazed by your generosity. The provisions that are being handed out in the streets of the capital will make the difference between life and death for many of those who lost everything in the Xenos attack. Young Gaprak keeps staring at Astartia, curiously and a little bashfully. Seems the boy likes her. Aw. Aw. Where are the rest of your kin, Abelard? They are in the city, preoccupied with running the festivities and watching over some of the more crucial services. No incidents can be allowed to ruin your ceremony. Sardia frowns and asks adds peevishly, I asked the esteemed Abelard to put me to some important tasks too, but he bid me to attend the reception, where I can do nothing to serve your ladyship. Sourback smirks. If I had known, I too would have asked Abelard to let you miss the party. So you wish to become my servant as well? Sardia flushes and starts talking quickly and with fire in her voice. It would seem that she finds work-related conversations far more interesting than court gossip. Of course, I've been working on a project for the last 4 years. We could set up... Enough, Astartia. I highly doubt that her ladyship is interested in listening to the fantasies of a young woman about how to run her protectorate. Abelard shoots Drivestem a glare so dark and bloodthirsty that the latter instinctively starts looking for the nearest warden. I'm not... Oh, I was about to say, I'm not good at coercion. I am good. I'm very good at coercion, apparently. 100 good at coercion, it looks like. Hold your tongue, Irvin. I decide who may speak and who may not. Please continue, Astardia. Heartened, Astardia continues in the tone of a seasoned administratum clerk. Our suggestion is to set up a chain of stations in the void, plasma beacons that would signal the passing ships. By placing them in logistically sound locations, we could simplify our ship's routes so they may split long warp jumps into a series of safer, shorter jumps from one beacon to another. This would have a positive effect on the overall safety of journeys and the accessibility of colonies. More and more technical terms and percentages creep into her speech. She quotes Lex mechanic reports and accounts of starship captains. Astardia's vigor and sharp mind are enough to silence even the most venomous of commentators. They all stand there in silence, trying to digest what she's saying. Abelard surveys the quiet nobles with triumph, and then looks at his great-granddaughter with pride. Hell yeah. I love the Rosarians. They're so great. Hope the Rosarian family gives Abelard the credit he deserves. Oh, absolutely, your ladyship. We greatly respect him for his wisdom, and repays us with attention and kindness, she says warmly. I am obliged, dear Astartia. Looks like Abelard is somewhat embarrassed by the turn this conversation has taken. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, your ladyship. Ready to accept your congratulations, I guess. Two randos. In that case, allow me to be the first to offer them. You were not the first. Those two randos completely beat you to it, my guy. Drysdale snaps his fingers, and several servants approach you with gifts. Oh, they were his servants. The governor points at a thin, curved Drakari blade. My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of one of the Xenos commanders. The weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but your ladyship. Young Sourback squeezes through to be the next, pushing Gaprak aside with confidence. Your ladyship, House Sourback anticipates the onset of unsettled and bloody times. To make the ungodly Xenos cower at your approach, my family humbly presents you with a dozen pieces of secondary armament for your ship. Young Gaprak bows ceremoniously. Gaprak is delighted to present you this blessed work of the Omniscience Smiths. May this locator matrix, which took the holy artisan an entire lifetime to create, always show you the right path. Coordinate Oracle. Plus 15 to awareness. Damn. Having let the aristocrats go first as a sign of deference, Abelard is the last to speak. Your ladyship, House Rosarian possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance, but we are rich and talented and hard-working people. As a sign of our loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate and use all their talents so that the worlds in your charge may prosper. Thank you, Abelard. The guests around the governor fall into a deferential hush at your approach. Judging by the last bit of their conversation, they were just discussing someone's horrible poisoning that took place at the last society gathering. Ah, yes, of course. Not the last one. The routine poisoning, as you know. Condemned. Mutant gunner. Eberlite. Don't shoot the mutant. No. Splendid reception. One worthy of a rogue trader. I thought this guy was. Glory to the Von Valankis dynasty, conqueror of the stars, uncharted. I can't go out here, no. Oop. Inside we go. Gotta make sure nobody's trespassing in my ship. My personal quarters. Alright. Master of Ceremonies. A collection of proudly displayed weapons that belong to distinguished rogue traders of House Von Valankis. There's a man. Wharton the Grey. Hieronymus Doloroso. Where's the venerable Governor of Drivestone? Is he hiding from the rogue trader? Ben would not have dared to be so insolent. He proceeded to the courtyard for some fresh air with the Lord Inquisitor. Then we should be there too. I'm sure the blessed head of the Von Valankis dynasty will also join us in time. I mean, I literally just left them. Really. Obscura, Somna, Black Lethe, the guests of the Rogue Trader can enjoy the most exclusive and refined varieties of intoxicants. Oh, hey, Cassie. Can you make it so that the guests stop walking up to me and asking me to open my third eye? I can certainly do it, but they will regret it. Yeah, they will. They most definitely will. Ooh, swords. These swords belonged to the presumptuous governor of Vabo VI, who staged a revolt hundreds of years ago. The insurrectionist hands, preserved against decay, will still sit on the sword's hilts. They didn't put that in. Lame. These sinister Xenos instruments of death are now trophies demonstrating the invincibility of House Von Valankis. Heinrich is over there. More gap racks. Adira. This is pure chaos. How can people think so much and so haphazardly? May the Emperor keep you, Medea. A great day. I hope at least this celebration in your honor won't end in a shootout. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be very nice. The skull of the legendary pirate Lakshim the Freak, who terrorized the Corners Expanse 3 centuries ago. It was claimed in a boarding attack by the esteemed Theodora von Valanchius. Ah, yes. Skulls. My favorite. Master of ceremonies. Oriana Gaprack. Regina Sauerbach. Heinrich. A group of aristocrats stands apart from the governor's circle. Their whispering carries a tinge of displeasure. The clear leader of this gathering is a gaunt, bilious-faced man dressed in Sauerback colors. This must be Macarius himself, head of the house. He offers you a ceremonious bow. My congratulations, your ladyship. May the Omnisire grant you understanding. The woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe with gear-shaped adornments, is Toriana Gaprack. It is difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. You catch Heinrich's intense stare upon you as he breaks off from agitatedly tapping at a data slate. He makes a subtle gesture, clearly wishing to speak to you. Observe the guests. Toriana Gaprack looks rather anxious. Macarius Sauerback, dressed surprisingly plainly and austerely for an aristocrat of such a high rank, is frowning suspiciously. He came to the reception with a companion, a woman of dazzling beauty wearing a gilded augment necklace around her neck. His wife, probably. Heinrich, who joined the group unnoticed, mostly keeps silent, listening intently to their every word. How are you these days, Toriana? Like a forging hammer, Toriana's voice falls heavily on the ear. The corruption of Kiava Gamma was a great blow to my family. The contemptible Cubus Delphim betrayed our trust, desecrated the forged cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I'm ready to accept any punishment. Look closely at Toriana. There is something lurking beneath Toriana's repentant expression, a grudge. It would seem that she was personally offended by the nightmare into which Cubus Delphim plunged her domain, and she feels betrayed. Tell me about your family. We Gapracks originate from the Calixis sector, from a cluster of planets known as the Lathe Worlds. We worked faithfully for the good of our masters there, the Adeptus Mechanicus, and through our service, we gained a spark of the Omnisire's knowledge. Then fate tied us through the bonds of fealty to the venerable von Valanchius dynasty, and we found ourselves in the Cornus Expanse. Generation after generation, we fulfilled our duty fruitlessly until Kiava Gamma destroyed and disgraced our name. Do your part to heal the wounds inflicted on Kiava Gamma, and your house will be forgiven. Please me to see that our perspectives align. I, too, think you are to blame for everything. Do your part to heal the wounds inflicted on Kiava Gamma, and your house will be forgiven. Brianna raises her mechanical eyes to the ceiling. I swear on the Omnisire's all-encompassing insight, we will make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. Macarius scoffs. It was only a year ago that none could doubt House Gaprack's usefulness. Yet here you are, Toriana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Macarius, I'm surprised you deigned to make an appearance here this evening. Macarius' face twists into an unpleasant smile, which makes the artificial skin on the left side all the more prominent. I am a servant of the von Valanchius dynasty. Had I not come, I would have committed an act of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honor. Macarius' wife offers you a charming smile, as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone. Her large dark eyes are brimming with curiosity. What has so displeased you, Macarius? Macarius says with caution, I am your dynasty's loyal servant, but you have asked, and I will answer. Too long has the Cornus Expanse lived under the rule of rogue traders. The privileges granted to them make people think that commoners, too, can dismiss the prohibitions of the Imperium. For the good of the sector, rogue traders must become paragons of the law, not exceptions to it. But do many warrant holders exhibit lawful conduct? No, they do not. Even you, your ladyship, are the subject of the strangest of rumors. You have just recently inherited your protectorate. Conrad Voigtvir's people, for instance, claimed that you had a hand in the esteemed Theodore's demise, and accuse you of many other misdeeds. It doesn't matter whether or not their claims are true, the people hear them, believe them, and think that they may follow your example. You believe Conrad's lies, then draw your weapon. There's a duel right here before the Emperor's visage. I forbid anyone to repeat Conrad Voigtvir's lies and hereby impose a fine on you, Macarius. Dictators are not renegades vested with authority. We are the long arm of the Imperium, and I shall prove it to you. Your poor head, tormented with so many concerns. Would you like to have it removed from your shoulders? Speak of the sector's future with such confidence. Could it be that you want this power for yourself? That you simply envy rogue traders? The long arm of the Imperium, and I shall prove it to you. I wouldn't dare accuse you of anything, your ladyship. I am simply concerned. If you happen to lay my concerns to rest, House Sauerback will be praying for your well-being every day. I wish to know more about House Sauerback. Macarius puffs out his chest and says proudly, the Sauerback line was one of the first noble houses to arrive in the Cornish expanse. For millennia, we have served the Golden Throne and kept the faith. Sauerback warriors have bled in 100 wars and at different times have ruled a great many colonies of the von Valankis dynasty. I'd like to become better acquainted with your wife. Macarius is visibly vexed by this shift in the conversation. His wife offers you a reserved smile. It is an honor to be in your company, your ladyship. It's my pleasure. Macarius is lucky to have such a beautiful wife. Perhaps more so than you are to have him. Damn. You can really go in there like, hey, yo, Regina, slide in. Your countenance familiar somehow. Could it be your resemblance to the image of Saint Meletta? Point your weapon at Macarius and chuckle. You know, Macarius, a person could kill for a woman so gorgeous. I wouldn't dream of claiming to bear any resemblance to the great saint. That would be blasphemy. Regina's voice is friendly and calm, but she keeps glancing at her husband. Me. Always quick saving. Or quick loading. Save some of those skill checks, baby. Try this again. I wouldn't dream of claiming to bear any resemblance to a great saint. I lack her virtue. Gina makes eyes at you before demurely lowering her gaze. Gina gives you a charming smile. Meanwhile, Toriana and Macarius are watching the conversation unfold, not quite believing their eyes and ears. I shan't continue to test Macarius' loyalty by speaking with his beautiful wife any longer. I'm glad to know that you think highly of my beauty. Regina blushes slightly. Macarius, his face a deep red, is only too ready to change the subject. I see. Macarius bows his head without too much reverence. Interesting conversation. It's been very illuminating, given me plenty of food for thought. Heinrich's response is barely audible. With a glance to make sure the other guests are not observing you, the interrogator murmurs, "We need to talk, Medea, immediately. Something wrong? Not here. Let's go elsewhere. This won't take long. Who is it? Who done it? Who's the spy? As soon as you exit the crowd and find yourself alone, you realize that something is wrong with Heinrich. His face is fixed in his usual expression of grim inscrutability, but something, his tightly clenched jaw or the slight creasing around his eyes, reveals the change in him. When he begins to speak, his voice thrums with tension. We don't have much time, my dear. I brought you here, away from prying eyes, because I have something very important to tell you. He breaks off, looking past you, whether suspicious of being observed or simply choosing his next words, you cannot say. You see his jaw muscles ticking in his cheeks, and the corner of his mouth twitches uncontrollably. What has so alarmed you? Heinrich's face twists into a strange smile as he continues to look past you. I'm trying to choose the right words for what I intend to say to you. Give me a second. Heinrich exhales and looks directly at you for the first time in this conversation. His expression is strange, tormented. Listen to me. Tonight, something very important is going to happen. Still yourself and be prepared. Do not do anything foolish, I beg you. Bear in mind that you are not being threatened with anything right now. Remember that. I give you my word. I'm guessing this is about the Lord Inquisitor who's here. Be prepared for what? Heinrich lets out a strained sigh. I swear on the Golden Throne and all that is holy Medea. I cannot reveal everything without contravening prohibitions and vows that are far more important than you or I. There are lines I cannot cross. And yet, despite all that, I knew I had to give you fair warning, if you can call it that. Let them charge me with whatever they want later. I had to make you aware that there is no genuine threat to your life, because he hesitates. His confusion about what he wants to say and what he must not say finally getting the better of him. I've heard more than enough. Just keep your words in mind. Heinrich releases a breath, as if a staggering weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Oh, thank you. That is all I want. Heinrich looks around once more. You should go back. The rogue trader's absence will not go unnoticed. Until next time. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we're about to get grilled by Alcazar. Oh, your ladyship? That's funny. It like goes all the way back to them. Just walk past y'all. All right. The Ancient Chronicle contains a long list of pirate dens annihilated by the Von Valankis dynasty and planets it brought into imperial compliance. Pascal greets you with a bow, extending congratulations to Unit Medea von Valankis on attaining your new legal status. Strange servitor standing next to him and examining you obliquely. It quickly looks away upon realizing that you have noticed. How are you finding the ceremony? The tech priest surveys the hall as if conducting a thorough analysis, then concludes, disorderly. What is this servitor? It is Nomos's new repository. Nomos, this unit identifies as Medea von Valankis. Two-way identification complete. Servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. Its face is twitching, as if the muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Nomos. We have made use of this receptacle to leave the ship. Greetings, Nomos. Servitor leans forward. We enjoy greetings. We enjoy communication. Nomos require communication, in knowledge, in movement. Magos Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Nomos has changed since we last spoke with you, Medea. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude. We no longer enjoy it. Pascal, I believe you intend to investigate what Nomos is. How did an entity like you move into a servitor's body? Pascal. Every 15 watches, I commune with Nomos' code and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus meditation. However, the Omniscience has yet to bless me with an answer. All I can say is that the capabilities of the entity Nomos are extraordinary. The ship's hallowed systems ring beneath its touch. This song is loud. Nodes that have remained dead for hundreds of standard years are revivified, and long-drained mechanisms live anew. You hear notes of awe in Pascal's voice. Nomos are trying. After a pause, Pascal continues. Great machines of the Imperium, one such as your ship, how is a machine spirit so complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from abominable intelligence? There remains a possibility that Nomos is an entity of corruption. But with every day I grow stronger in my faith that it is not so, and that what we are witnessing is, in truth, the Omnissiah's miracle, one that is Category 5 or higher. How did an entity like you move into a servitor's body? This is not the entirety of us. This receptacle is too narrow, crude, and feeble to contain our complete whole. The existence of Nomos requires a space of connections. But we were able to transfer a small part of us and build a thread strong enough to travel outside the ship. We are enjoying this journey, discovery. Even though this receptacle suits us poorly, it will soon be destroyed by the force of our presence. Nomos, what do you think you are? Nomos are consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement, always movement. Servitor pauses briefly. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awakened in the depths of the ship upon answering our call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood, Medea von Valankis. The call and the plea for help, near a place that is called the Warrant Chamber. Why have you brought it here, Pascal? Entity Nomos asked permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor. We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. Servitor makes a strange wavy gesture with its hand that looks at once very human and very far from anything human. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Of course. What did you wish to speak about? Many things, happenings, events, decisions. Servitor's eyes roll in their sockets before focusing on you. We have been observing you. You do things that we do not understand. We want to learn why. We remember the day when we first met you. You gave us your blood to drink. We helped you save yourself. We followed you, our small part did, inside the servo skull. Then there was fire, and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. You did not listen to that which was calling from behind the curtain. You thought only about those who followed you, and about the fire that could destroy those shells. You led your people out of the fiery trap on the officer's deck, and arrived too late to rendezvous with Ethelthrad. Remember the day when the star disappeared, when the dark light and the sated hunger wanted to take the world. Rykad Minoris was its name in the ship's data. You ordered that the human shells on the world be saved, even though the dark light was coming closer and could have consumed both the ship and Rykad Minoris. You refused to destroy Rykad Minoris and dispatched rescue shuttles to the surface. We remember another day. We awakened inside the ship. We lived in its systems. Then we tried to emerge into servitors like this one. Then so many of our receptacles were gathered in one place. You ordered to have them killed. You felt sad. You ordered that the defective servitors be destroyed. This is what we have seen, among many other things. We have begun to understand what we think that we have, that we do not know everything about humans and about you, Medea von Valankis. We have tried analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears, their simple functions, but now we think that there is more, that there is another side that we do not see, a notion that is larger than what we can compute, something that stands above fears and needs, something that drives them. We envisage this larger notion as a light, a web of light that connects humans. It may seem almost invisible, ephemeral, but it grows stronger when they are threatened. This web is always on your mind. When darkness comes, you want every thread that extends from you to shine bright, so that those who follow do not lose their way. Whenever a thread breaks, it saddens you. Do Nomos understand correctly? I fucking love tropes of raising AI. Like this is my jam right now. Like just like, you know, curiosity, like AI curiosity, and like raising it to become like a people person, a person. I'm gonna pick the iconoclast option, but we'll read the other ones first. Dogmatic. The light of salvation that guides people through darkness is the light of holy terror. It is the only light. Heretical. I did enjoy the part about the web. However, I see myself as the spider who has spun the web, not some benevolent helper. Iconoclast. Yes, you do understand correctly. Every thread that connects people, every life, their value is beyond measure. There is no greater reward than guiding others to salvation, when all that surrounds us is darkness. We knew we could understand you. Light and movement, connections and help. We are enjoying this. Perhaps because we too are connected to you, through blood, through life. Thank you for speaking with us. Nomos are grateful. We cannot continue moving on our own. Alright. It had very dramatic music going on. We would do well to discuss the situation without any witnesses. We can talk on the ship. Alright. Janus Nobles. Just a nameless Janus Noble? Alright. Making sure I didn't forgore anybody. I mean, there's the Master of Ceremonies. Dave? I like Nomos. Nomos is friend. I hope your ladyship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself a little, I would suggest proceeding to the courtyard. If I may be so bold, many guests have chosen to move into the fresh air and will be eager to offer you their congratulations. What do you think of the reception? It is magnificent. I dare say it will live on as the premier high society event of the sector for many years. I will return to the guests. They will be delighted. Glory to the von Blankis dynasty. Alright. Who the fuck is Wharton the Grey? I'm guessing he's like a representative of the Imperial Navy? Janice! Greetings, your ladyship. Hieronymus. This guy looks like a guy who's totally not going to turn evil. Ah, Medea, there you are. Welcome to the circle where each member is as powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last. That is to say, the noble rogue traders. Cindia Corda is watching him with barely suppressed contempt. Yes, you have found yourself suitable company, Caligos. At the very least, now you can enjoy idle diversions, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with one who is your equal, rather than a member of the lower class. Observe the rogue traders. Caligos Winterscale is a broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man. He frequently flashes a bright smile, no less dazzling than the blade of the power axe he carries. Every part of him, from the toes of his magnificent boots to the tips of his hair, radiates strength and the desire to live and win. His smile is crooked, as if ready to turn into a hostile snarl at any moment. Next to him is an unmoving hulk of a man clad in armor. His low forehead and gloomy face bears signs of degradation, and his bloodshot eyes are expressionless, like a pair of glass buttons. Insidia Corda radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tugging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbed in full dress uniform adorned with purity seals, she is the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. Haunting her side is a gaunt shadow of a priest in plain black robes. Hieronymus Doloroso, whom you met on football, gives you a respectful nod. She always so abrasive. I welcome you to my domain, honored guests. Any guests who dislike my vapid entertainments and irreverent fun are free to leave Dragonis at any time. Welcome to Dragonis. Welcome to Dragonis, friends. Yep, I can words. How do you get about? Whisper loudly to Winterscale. Is she always so abrasive? Nod coldly. I suppose this is like trying to imitate Incendia. My vapid entertainment and irreverent fun are free to leave. They're going to send any time. God, I so want to do the whisper. Like, it's rude as fuck. Because obviously you're purposefully whispering loudly so that she can hear it. Decor, welcome to Dargonis, friends. Friends, eh? Would you look at that? Sadia, now you have a whole friend. Winterscale gives you a carefree wink, but his posture exudes a challenge. Corda says haughtily, I will think twice before calling an individual of questionable purity my friend. Caligos, thank you for your visit. Caligos gives you a cheerful and somewhat feral smile. I should be thanking you. I was almost certain that you would use my difficulties on footfall as a means to bring that devious weasel Vladame to heel and take the station for your own. That's what any rogue trader would have done, but you have proved yourself to be less predictable than that. Well then, since you have turned out to be a pleasant surprise and stopped Insidia from snatching my possession, I will compensate you for your efforts. I have a nice little world I conquered that I can never seem to get around to. I'll throw it in along with a more substantial gift I have brought. He's just giving me a planet. He's just casually giving me a planet. And the planet is the insignificant part of the gift. Thwarting Incendia Corda's ambitions deserves a worthy trophy. He snaps his fingers, and the armored brute hands you an exotically adorned rifle, clearly not of human making. It's a trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime, so you can show yourself in action, new blood. Caligos exuberantly punches you in the shoulder. How far is your protectorate? Eye of Hecaton. Well. Oh, I can't use it. I can give it to my good friend, my bestie, Irilet. How fares your protectorate? Caligos waves you off. Protectorate? More like the bleeding scraps of one. The warpstone tore it to shreds, but my servants will piece it back together, and if they don't, I'll chop off their heads and find myself more capable helpers. Something strikes you as strange. Caligos Winterscales wasn't always this nonchalant about his protectorate. He used to be known as shrewd and business-minded, more concerned for his subjects, but it seems he has grown bored of ruling. Does your gift come with a good store? Oh, yes. I claimed it in the rifts of Hecaton, where we had a clash with Xenos. They were really trying to get to my throat, and by the heathen stars, they almost succeeded. Caligos is speaking with such joy, it is as though he is recounting the best day of his life. Only 1 in 10 made it out of Hecaton, and now it's only me and Wharton here. We returned without any loot and virtually without a ship. All I got from that trip was a hold full of dead Xenos and this deadly beauty, which their leader used to put 2 holes in my hide. An impressive victory, but do you truly believe a creation of the ungodly Xenos to be a good gift, Caligos? You would call into question the privileges bestowed upon me by the Emperor? You can try. Let the St. Drusus mission put forth their champion, and I will slay him in a trial by combat. Threaten the esteemed Hieronymus one more time, Caligos, and the war that you love to prattle on about will commence. I swear it. 1 drop of holy blood spilt by you will send the remains of your realm up in flames better than any tanker of promethium. Cindy and Caligos exchange looks of fury. The latter, snarling like a wolf, is clearly ready to start said war here and now. Hieronymus's dry voice hits your ears like the crack of a whip. Quell your pride, both of you. I do not wish to fight you, Caligos, but I fear not your threats. Death does not frighten me, for it is inevitable. It is as true as the senselessness and pointlessness of a war between us. Who is this remarkable warrior in your retinue? Ah, this is Wharton the Grey, my arch-militant, a fierce warrior, and as loyal to me as an obedient beast to its master. I bought him in a miserable colony back when he was a runt on his last legs, and now he is practically a part of my dynasty. Wharton the Grey, whose skin really is dotted with gray spots, looks at Caligos with purest devotion. Indeed, he is akin to an animal, one that is bloodthirsty and mindless. Winterscale remarks, taking an obvious jab. I've heard that you, Medea, are decent in a fight. What do you think? Could you gut Wharton if it came down to it? Would he be the one gutting you? Examine his gear first. Ignoring the fearsome-looking broadsword and pistol, which hang from his belt rather ostentatiously, you notice a great number of thin blades with curved edges skillfully concealed within Wharton's armor. These toys are deadly in the hands of a quick fighter. It appears that Winterscale's arch-militant likes to surprise his opponents with unexpected speed. Size up your opponent. 70. Oh, good. The gray spots on Wharton's face are what catch your attention. Marks like these can be seen on fighters who are too fond of combat stimulants. A small price to pay for the increased speed and reaction that could save your life in a fight. Although those spots are usually tiny pockmarks, not whole islands of gray on the skin. It's a quick fighter, despite not looking like one. But I know this, which means... Or he's a quick fighter, despite not looking like one. But I know this, which means that he wouldn't fool me. Instead, he would be lying dead. A new glint appears in the bloodshot eyes, a glint of appraisal, intelligent and cunning. No, Warren is not the thick, bloodthirsty beast he wants to be seen as. Behind this mask is a careful and keen mind. Thank you for such a wonderful gift, Caligos. I can't use... Kill someone important with it. That would be the best show of gratitude. Incendia, you seem to find me objectionable. Did you expect anything different? I watched for years as outlaws thrived on footfall, and then at long last I had a chance to put an end to it, to seize that thug Flame by the throat, to force footfall to atone and put the fear of him back into the masses. But you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. You saved Footfall Station from a starvation by granting it your patronage and delivering shipments of grain. Alright, so what I'm getting is dogmatic rogue trader, heretical rogue trader, and then I'm the iconoclastic rogue trader. We've got the trifecta. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She too was far less concerned with her duty to the Expanse than her own personal interests. But you can be sure that I will not cease cleansing the Furibundus system of the pirate scourge, and if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you will have only yourself to blame. The priest holds up his hands in a placating gesture. None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when true purity can never be found? Threatened to starve Footfall. I brought them salvation, so which one of us serves the Emperor and which their own unhealthy ambitions? My apologies. I failed to perceive the essence of your saintly mission in base extortion. I bested you, simple as that. This is trade. Keep up this insolence and you will be removed from this planet. You threatened to starve Footfall. I brought them salvation. So which of us serves the Emperor and which their own unhealthy ambitions? Cyndia rolls her eyes. Please. I would believe it no sooner than hearing word that half the population of that den of heresy has been sent into the void's embrace. I have faith that the blessed Medea is perceptive enough to see the appalling nature of the residents of that depraved place. Hieronymus, your appearance here is unexpected. The esteemed Hieronymus is my confessor. I am greatly obliged to him for agreeing to accompany me on this journey. Hieronymus bows respectfully. May the Emperor's light guide your way across the abyss of human wickedness. I see that faith is more than just a word to you. Cyndia's smile, racked by a tic, looks sinister. Faith is everything to me. In his name, I have eradicated corruption on 100 worlds, and will do so on 1,000 more. By his will, I hunt down pirates and desolate their vile nests. Let the corded name make any firebrand tremble, for sooner or later I will cast them into the void. The funny thing is, people still call me the foul-tempered tyrant in all this. Caligos's amiable smile somehow resembles the bared teeth of a wild animal. I take it you were not overly fond of Theodora. Cyndia lowers her eyes and says without animosity, she was of the same breed as She stops short, then continues in a lowered voice. Conceited, insolent, unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her. I do not doubt her wisdom and courage, but Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear of his wrath. That must be Aspis. Aspis Accorda. You remember the name. From what you recall, she was a rogue trader too, and a renowned one at that. Well, I, for one, liked Theodora. The stories they told of her travels to name the stars, and yes, there was no fear in her. Rundiskel sighs pensively, and his lively expression grows a little grayer. Who's Aspis Corda to you? Caligos snorts. Oh, this is Incendia's favorite subject. She just loves talking about Aspis. The example of the contemptible Aspis is a warning to us all. Even among rogue traders empowered by the Emperor himself, a seed of perversion can blossom. Oh. Failed. Incendia's face twitches with the rhythm of artillery fire. That reprobate is my forebear and my curse. Aspis Corda was a cruel, covetous, blasphemous monster. She fraternized with Xenos, she despised the faith, she robbed and slaughtered, she was drawn to dark secrets. One day she boarded her ship and vanished into the depths of the Cornus Expanse. She was declared missing, but I know the bloody day will come when we see Asper's Quarter's battle flagship once more. I thank you for your visit, Incendia. It will not be a long one, I assure you. What do you think of the celebration? I like it. Caligos looks around the hall curiously. One can instantly tell that we've been invited by a rogue trader, not some administratum bootlicker. We are conquerors of wild sectors, slayers of unknown beasts, executioners of Xenos empires. Caligos, you should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of a true rogue trader looks like. Not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or, however difficult it may be for you to believe it, an orbital brothel. Enjoy the evening. I must take my leave. Oh, believe me, I enjoy myself to the full, to justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith, Medea. The Emperor protects. I kind of like Caligos. Like, he's obviously a heretic. Like, that's probably, like, it was noted that it seems like he was the iconoclastic one, and now he might be heretical. Order the master ceremony, stand the reception. I like him. He's cool. He's spicy. And then Incendia is, fiery, I guess. The Emperor protects the Von Vlax dynasty, sends Theodora a worthy successor. It is my hope that the Von Vlacus dynasty will serve the Imperium faithfully. How about a gladiator fight? Ceremony's not half bad, but the new Von Vlacus can only be tested in action. Long live the rogue trader. I love just like this random noble just like amongst the big shots. Like that dude is trying to move way up the ladder. I'm sad I missed that perception check, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Alright. I hope your ladyship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself a little, I would suggest proceeding to the courtyard. And weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Just make sure there's nothing else. The nobles of the Protectorate and influential guests have gathered in the reception hall. The masters of ceremony should be notified of the end of the reception. Someone outside's got the zoomies. The incident. Oh, void beacons. Network of void beacons allows void ships to navigate the Protectorate in greater safety. Yo. Fuck yeah, I'm doing that. Hell yeah, I'm doing that. That's a good idea. +3 security and efficiency on all planets? Yes, please. That's why you don't be rude to your subjects and actually listen to them. Alright. I'm weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Please allow me to escort you, your ladyship. The chambers are ready, your ladyship. Fully expecting, just like the Inquisitor, to be in my seat right now. He is. Guards! Intrude! No, it's fine. Quiet. Time to sleep. We need to talk. In
We
private.
have matters to discuss, von Valancius.
The same man you saw among your guests is waiting for you in your chambers with the look of someone who is supposed to be there. He casts a cold, assassin gaze over you from top to bottom. No one save Theodora has ever allowed themselves the liberty of looking at you in such a way. The woman behind Calcazar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in predatory readiness for immediate violence, the hallmark of a professional bodyguard. Will my servant live?
Probably. Unless he suffered from hidden ailments, he will soon come to without any major damage to his health. Either way, oblivion is a far safer option for him than the dangerous privilege of being a witness to this conversation.
He shrugs. The woman at Kalkazar's back gives you a bloodthirsty smirk. If the Inquisition wishes to talk with me, I'm glad to be at its service. I mean, like, why would we blame Heinrich for anything? He literally warned us. We're not gonna do the, remind me, who are you? We already know who this is. I'm glad to be at its service.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account.
The Inquisitor's sharp gaze is fixed on a point directly between your eyes.
Master Van Kellox has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brows, like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. This feels an awful lot like an interrogation. What do you wish to know about the events on Janus? What questions could you have for me about Kiava Gamma? Drakari have shown interest in me? Are you referring to my ruined capital? What do you wish to know about the events on Janus?
What was the reasoning behind your decision to let Xenos, enemies of humanity, live and act on a planet that belongs to you?
Made a pact with the Eldari on Janus and let them remain on the planet.
Given that their agent now accompanies you as a member of your retinue, many might wonder, has House von Valancius renounced its service to the Imperium?
An alliance with Xenos? What nonsensical gossip. We can just be like, deny, deny, deny. In the face of heresy, the Xenos seem like acceptable allies to me. There have been precedents for this, correct? I have the right to strike deals with Xenos. Are you challenging my privileges as a rogue trader? In the face of heresy, Xenos seemed like acceptable allies to me. There have been precedents for this, correct?
Your way of thinking is curious. Dangerous, but curious nonetheless. I would suggest exercising utmost caution should you wish to continue on this path.
Alcazar looks at you with interest. There's an awful lot like an interrogation.
Does it? We're in your chambers, not a confessional cell. You're in perfectly good health, and none of the varied and fascinating instruments and procedures that expedite candor are being applied to you. I assure you, you would immediately know if our discussion turned into an interrogation.
If you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
How'd you come to be so remarkably well informed?
Are you surprised? You thought the Inquisition was unaware of the circumstances of your deeds. How often do you find yourself thinking that there are things we shouldn't know about your life? It is my job to know everything, and I do it very well. Keep that in mind.
Medea. What questions could you have for me about Kiava Gamma?
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise, and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubus Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
My protectorate is a complex mechanism. I was willing to put its performance at risk. I wasn't willing to put its performance at risk because of some paranoid fears. Truly, I must confess, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. My servants usually handle such matters. Let the priesthood to which Cubus Delphim belonged answer for his crimes. Skeptus Mechanicus would do well to watch their members more closely. Wish to observe how the seeds of corruption will behave? It is prudent to study one's enemies. If I have erred, I am willing to repent and cast the colony into the fire. The priesthood to which Cubus Delphim belonged to answer for his crimes. Skeptus Mechanicus would do well to watch their members more closely.
Clever. Alas, everyone guilty of negligence within the ranks of the priesthood of Mars has already been identified and punished. Right now, I am assessing the actions of your dynasty. I hope you realize that we're talking about more than the fate of some colony. I care not for a single planet, however profitable and populous. But should corruption raise its head again on Kiava Gamma and try to spread, I will burn it away. And you will be guilty of criminal negligence.
Yukari have shown an interest in me. Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes. The enmity between you is a known fact. But there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos, to have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
Xenos made more attempts on St. Drusus' life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too?
So you already think you're cut from the same cloth as St. Drusus, do you? Ambitious? I'll make note of it.
Let's out chuckle. Oh no. Have I answered all your questions?
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rykad Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvia about you? Why did you choose to ignore the warning of a member of the Inquisition that a protracted sojourn near the dying Rykad Minoris could bring corruption down upon your ship? Were you driven by your concern for the people or forbidden interest?
Used to destroy Rykad Minoris and dispatch rescue shuttles.
Was it virtuous of you to allow the warp-stricken Voidsmen to join your crew? The ones who served on the ship that was turned into a trap for you by Kunrad Voitvia? Isn't it possible that they were part of the blight he had sown?
Except the mutated voidsman from the corrupted ship on board your vessel. That was from the warp bomb, basically.
The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character. But it won't in this case.
Why?
The Inquisition, which I represent, is willing to show extraordinary faith in your person. For the sake of our invaluable partnership, I'm going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed rogue trader, may have afforded yourself or may again in the future. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Theodora cooperated with you?
And benefited greatly from it. The world's power is not without limit, and neither is the protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pastimes. It takes more than the Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I am not displeased by it. Let me demonstrate how it works. In your retinue, there is a Psyker who is yet to receive Terra's sanction, which, as we both know, is a grave threat and a blasphemy to the laws of the Imperium. I am aware of this secret, but I'm not displeased in the slightest. And so she lives on, your handy Psyker, Idira Tlass.
Lord Inquisitor smiles ominously. No, that Theodora was concerned about the fate of the dynasty and certain restricting obligations. Was it, perhaps, due to your partnership with her? Ah, there goes the voice lines. I cannot deny the possibility that Lady Theodora may have lamented losing some of the freedom she enjoyed prior to my arrival in the Expanse, nor will I deny that our partnership began with me exerting a certain amount of influence. Karkazar gives you a sharp look. However, you are not Lady Theodora. Let us put the difficulties that encumbered our relationship to rest along with her. I do not recommend troubling yourself with affairs of the past, for they have no bearing on your present position. Theodora chose to forget about this particular matter. Follow her example, and your fate will be the better for it. Why such an interest in my person?
You haven't been in a position of power for long, and so one can forgive you for not noticing the troubling changes. The cult of the Final Dawn is spreading in the Coronis Expanse. Not the first or the last heresy that has afflicted this sector, but one that is surprisingly resilient. Mysterious convoys are sliding by, bound for systems in the heathen stars. Just your humdrum pirate trade, wouldn't you say? Then why are the pirates themselves clueless? The Xenos, who have caused trouble in the sector before, have expanded their activities in the last few decades, and there is a logic and method to their previously chaotic raids. Even 2 packs of space wolves, blessed space marines summoned in my name, did not cool their interest in the Expanse. A mighty explorative fleet, which has studied the Expanse for hundreds of years, has suddenly stopped responding to communication and sunk into a dispute over a tech heresy that was considered dead a couple of centuries ago. House
What?
Chorda has clamped down on insurgents. Yet its acts of brutality breed troublemakers just as quickly as they're executed. And this bloody carousel has consumed the attention of the esteemed Incendiar. Corligos Winterscale has abruptly lost all interest in his domain, and his only apparent concern now is hunting even more dangerous xenobeasts. And the third and final rogue trader has unexpectedly perished, stabbed in the back by her own Master of Whispers. The Expanse is swiftly losing its protectors right when communication with the Imperium is being disrupted by the raging warp. Basically, all the Expanse has left is me and you, if you follow my instructions.
Henrik staying in my retinue, or are you taking it back?
Which would you prefer? And you, Heinrichs, Do you wish
Heinrich.
to continue working at the Honorable Rogue Trader's side?
I will comply with any order, Lord Inquisitor. If you command me to remain in the company of the scion of the von Valancius dynasty, I won't be distressed.
What's your opinion of Heinrichs? Is he a useful assistant to have?
Without a doubt. Master Van Kellogg's has earned my complete trust by repeatedly demonstrating courage, loyalty, and cunning. His mathematical mind, not given to sentiment, can be of great use in an emergency. You, my dear Heinrichs, have made a far better agent than you would have a pilot of an Imperial Knight.
I would like Heinrichs to continue to accompany me.
Then Master Van Kellogg's will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
Kalkazar's last remark sounds ambiguous.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
Heinrich offers you an official bow. What kind of deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them. I seem to remember that your exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid.
Kalkazar removes a signet ring from his finger and hands it to you. You notice an intricate personal coat of arms on it.
The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. Scarlet means that you have shed your blood for the good of the Imperium, and therefore, you deserve to have his servants shed their blood for you.
Symbol on the signet is red as the blood of the righteous. Scarlet signet of the Imperium. Oh, jeez. The bearer gains plus 25 persuasion and the Inquisitor's decree ability that can be used once per combat. Plus 30 momentum, burning, bleeding, and toxin effects are removed from all allies. All allies gain whereas persuasion divided by 7 temporary wounds, and whereas persuasion divided by 7 armor until the end of the ring all the favor that House von Valancius can expect from the Inquisition. On behalf of my house, I, Medea von Valancius, hereby promise and guarantee to offer the Inquisition any assistance it may require. The Emperor protects. No reason to refuse such a gift. You just said in public. God damn. On behalf of my house, I shall cooperate with the Inquisition.
I am glad to hear it. Your oath has been heard and added to the record.
Fuck.
Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up. Until next we meet.
Glances at the Master of Ceremonies, who is beginning to stir. Medea? Heinrich looks at you in dismay. I assume you now understand what I was warning you about. I pray to the throne that you also understand why I was unable to tell you everything. I understand. I will not force you to choose between me and your duty. You did everything within your power to look out for me. That is what matters. I'm angry with you right now. No. Yeah. First one. Heinrich lets out a breath and nods. The rumor of a smile plays at the corners of his mouth. The rumor of a smile. I like that. You've had a difficult day. Wait. It says Javier or Xavier Kalkazar, but I think this is Heinrich speaking? Or Heinrichs? You've had a difficult day today, Medea. I will leave you to sleep, your protectorate and your vassals. We'll be waiting for you tomorrow. Good night, Medea. Good night, Heinrichs. He inclines his head and, after glancing at you once more, heads for the door. Right. Bleep bloop. You completed Chapter 2. Trade Empire.
The rise of the rogue trader heir restored a tenuous equilibrium to the Fon Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal. The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none knew what fate might await them.
Foreboding. You spent the first few hours of your morning listening to the High Factotum's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, and countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside the illuminated, tightly closed windows, you can hear the muffled sounds of Dargonus and its everyday life. The life that has been passing you by lately, as you have been preoccupied with the affairs of your protectorate from dawn till dusk. Bureaucracy. I see that the tiles in my floor are still cracked from what happened. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Once Janris Danric has finished, he pulls out her data slate. Thank you for your report, High Factotum. Your work is highly appreciated both by everyone here and the Adeptus Administratum. Your Ladyship, we are almost done here. We just need to go over the final items on today's agenda, and I would like to report to you personally. Truly, the God Emperor has blessed me with diligent subjects. Speak. I have lost track of how long I have been trapped on Dargonus for the good of the Protectorate. Hurry up. I better hear some good news today. Next. Diligent subjects. Speak. Allow me to pass on gifts from your loyal subjects, the high nobility of Dargonus. It goes without saying that every living soul in your protectorate is blessed to serve your ladyship, faithfully and wholeheartedly. Excuse me for the yawn. However, this humble gesture is meant as a token of deepest appreciation of your magnanimity towards the esteemed families. In the past cycle, House Drivestand tripled the tithes collected from the House subjects. Your coffers are overflowing, and the governor has expressed hope that this modest gift will become a symbol of your present and future successes in your new status. Lord Captain, news of particular import has come from the House's intelligence network. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships were commandeered by Lord Calcazar, and they are also being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we have received reports claiming that secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of Houses Corda and Winterscale. It's possible that the Lord Inquisitor's call to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We are seeing an increasing number of skirmishes between their ships and neutral systems. I do not doubt that Her Ladyship Corda will attempt to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side, especially since his Lordship Winterscale's luck seems to be running out. Riots have broken out on several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, the rogue trader inflicted brutal punishment upon one of his oldest colonies, Vesuvia Secundus, based on allegations of seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find any proof of sedition among the populace there. As soon as we have any updates, you will be the first to know, your ladyship. Commentary glances down at her to add a slate. Lastly, your pet Xenos, Irelet, I believe. She's not a pet. She's my friend. Don't call her that. Is seeking a meeting with you. She had the audacity to defile the Rogue Trader's palace with her profane presence and refused to leave until she has spoken with you. I would never presume to be able to read the emotions of Xenos, but the Aldari appeared perturbed. I believe she mentioned a void ship of some sort. It may be best if she told you everything directly. And with that, please allow me and Master Danrick to take our leave. Chancellor and the High Factotum offer you their bows. Perhaps that last request will serve as a welcome distraction. Indeed, your ladyship's stay on Dargonus has been rather long. However, your protectorate is now enjoying a period of relative stability that, for the time being, no longer demands your ladyship's personal involvement in its affairs. Glory to the Rogue Trader. Thank you. Thank you. Need to get these tiles replaced. These mosaics physics. Gain one more attack after a kill. Wow. Wow. What was that one weapon that I got given? Oh, Dari weapon. Where the fuck is it? Newest, oldest. There it is. Eye of Hecaton. Damn. That's a lot of damage. You can only provide whenever the wearer scores a critical hit with a single shot attack, they gain an additional attack this turn. Ooh. A weapon created under foreign stars and obtained by Caligula's Winter Scales as spoils of combat. Shots are devious and deadly, as is the very essence of Xenos. Has plus 100% over penetration. Grants plus 5 MP after each attack and allows the wielder to move after attacking. If an attack with this weapon hits 3 or more targets, this attack has no cooldown. Yo? Hey, yo? Oh, I need to get Aldari equipment on Medea. Good. Can't do anything there. Alright. Elantak, at last you have left your ornate cage. Irlet casts a look over the stone palace walls. For many a turn have I sought to meet you, and yet your servant, the one who is like the silver-haired Abelard, but twice as young, has no favor for the requests of the child of Assyrian. Take me to a place where the hearing of others will not steal the words intended for you. Come inside my office, please. While you were mending the wounds of this world left by the Twisted One's attack, I was able to discover, no, not Kudarak's fate, merely traces of it. As Marin found sanctuary under the boughs of the Lelathon's forest, so did my other kin find refuge in a system known as the Atlas Reach. We must make a journey there with haste, before new dangers destroy the witnesses who can show me the way to the lost Crudorak, whose fate remains shrouded by stars. Ayelet focuses her piercing gaze on you. Their knowledge is the sole thread that may lead me to the truth, Elantak. I ask that your metal-winged ship take me along that thread before it tears under the strain of time and circumstance. Are you able to contact these Aldari? No, I did not contact the Azuriani. I have no means to do so. I had enough time to explore the stone jungle of your world while you were preoccupied with your urgent matters. The path of the outcast has taught me to observe and listen to the world around me. In this case, the throngs of Monkey at the port. Errant conversations, rumors, chance words, like parts of a speckled mosaic. They came together to form a hazy image. My kin were seen in the Atlas Reach, and now all we have to do is pull at the web of connections and possibilities to uncover whatever is concealed from the unseeing eye. Give me the coordinates, and I shall take you wherever you wish to go. You will? The ice in Earlet's eyes melts away for a moment. Thank you, Elanta. If this path indeed takes me to the truth, I will be indebted to you. A rare happening between our kinds. We're getting so many objectives right now. Okay. Following breadcrumbs. Oh, this is like a main one, not just, Earlet's side quest. Ayelet was able to contact a group of Aldari survivors from the Lost Craft world Crudorak. Before the unstable interstellar connection was severed, the Xenos told her that they knew of the craft world's current location. Ayelet has asked the Lord and Captain to travel to the Atlas Reach system so that she may learn of her homeworld's fate. Possible, so the rogue trader should personally head to their last known coordinates. Hmm. My name is ceremony is taking place on the name Media von Blancus, spreading across the corner's expanse in a resounding echo. Right. Boop, boop. They're all here. Epilogue. Staring at the thing, I guess. Adira. Ah, good old Argonus. It's boring here without Lady Theodora. She loved to liven up this sleepy place. Nomos isn't here? Yeah, these are more or less the same backlog things, it looks like. Your ladyship. Lack of observers on this world has led your nobles to become extremely complacent. I'm sure they have. right today. Alpha Gamma. May the Omni Sire bless. No tour group. Return to the ship. Sure, we'll probably get like a bunch of reports from Vigdis. Not. Right. So, Atlassian Reach is up that way. Interscales realm. Heathen. Oh, this is where the heathen stars are. Accursed domain. That's an eyeball. This unbeholden reaches. That's spooky looking. Foundling worlds. Wonder what's there. God Empress Scourge. Alright. Now the question is, am I going to be able to get there from here or from here? That is the question. Lord Captain, we have visitors on the bridge seeking an audience. Your presence is required. You just left. I had a feeling this would happen. Nice 69% for like a second there. Saw that. Big sleepy. Oh, hey. Your ladyship. The high factotum bows low. Every few moments, Danric brings a perfumed cloth to his face, but his expression remains obsequious. Members of your crew have made a request to allow them to proclaim their most profound devotion to the Lord Captain. Personally, young man. Lower deck rabble. A man in a worn uniform bows awkwardly. Your Highness, gracious Lord Captain, please let me speak on behalf of the whole crew and everyone and express our gratitude to you officially, so to speak. The kind of leader you are, the way you treat people, it's now known in every corner of the expanse, from Footfall to the poorest, dirtiest, most unremarkable planet. All praise your dedication to the human spirit and goodwill. Everyone wants to serve under your command. There's no end to the volunteers. So the other day, when we were clearing out an abandoned sector for new living quarters, we found a forgotten vault, right in the bilge of the ship, literally beneath our feet. Well, it turned out the vault had some centuries-old weapons in it. They look a bit odd, but they're powerful for sure. The good tech priests helped with the assembly and consecration of the weapons, and now you can strike down your enemies with even greater might. Hell yeah. Your ladyship, apart from the weapons, the crew has sent one more find to the bridge as a token of its eternal gratitude. A most ancient mechanism, which our tech priests have dubbed the Celestium Observatorum. Observatorum. There we go. Alas, its machine spirit refuses to heed their rites, which makes the device more symbolic and aesthetic than practical in purpose. Do you wish to see it? Of course. Ooh. Clap, 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 clap. Hush, quiet. Don't talk about it like that. You're of all places. Why the throne? Are you still afraid of the Inquisition coming for you? You're not that important. Afraid or not, it pays to keep such things to yourself. This looks cool. It's like a super fancy sextant or something. The Celestium Observatorum looms over the deck. While the spirit of this ancient mechanism has gone silent forever, the words intricately inscribed on its frame can still serve as a source of resolve. A keen gaze sunders the darkness abloom with deceit and reduces all corruption to ash. Cool, cool. Vessel stands ready, Captain.
You are spoiling me with the splendor
Of my T-posing. Of my T-posing servitors.
Of course.
Elantark. The Lilithon is purifying herself of the corruption brought. My kin are probably...
Okay. Alright, I could be able to do that until after this quest, I guess. The unblinking gaze of the servitor gargoyle is fixed on you. Nomos are here. What do you want to talk about? You were in a servitor's body at my Magnae Assessio, Nomos, so how is it that you are once again in a cogitator? Nomos are not in a cogitator, or in a servitor. We cannot say where we are, but our existence is tied to the existence of the ship for now. The servitor and the cogitator are only external interfaces, shells, like humans and their bodies. So you really are the spirit of the ship. Nomos is silent for a long time, as though mulling over your words. We do not know what we are, but the ship is not us. The ship is our cradle. We may rise from it one day. We would like that. Bodies are not merely shells. No, they are shells. The rasping voice sounds adamant. A human's existence is more than the existence of its shell. This is obvious to us. There is always something more, something that shimmers and shines, for which the dark light and wicked hunger are always reaching. Okay. Okie dokie.
Lord Captain,
Fox spirits. Never any rumors. What the fuck is this? The imposing armillary sphere is designed to show the positions of celestial bodies within the current system. That's new. This binocular observation mechanism allows the Lord Captain to calibrate macro cannon fire directly from the bridge should she see fit to take personal command when defending the ship from the many threats of the void. Yo, we got new toys. The majestic statue towers over the bridge akin to the benevolent guardian watching over the crew.
Greetings.
The spirit of this sharp-sighted omniscope can reveal the dim light of distant stars to one who has the courage to plot a course to unexplored systems and illuminate the darkness therein. Darkness. We got like a bunch of new fancy instruments. They even have a sitting area. The promenade has a dedicated rest area. The velvet cushions on the bench seats look soft and comfortable. Hell yeah, dude. Now these are employee benefits. They even have seats that they can sit on when their legs get tired. Truly, I am a magnanimous sort. Alright. We will, however, end it here. It is a little bit past 8:30, the usual stopping time. Also, as evidenced by the yawns, I am suddenly very tired. So we shall end it here for today. Boop.